Our lives sometimes feel like a journey full of challenges, where problems appear and make us feel exhausted and overwhelmed. But the truth is, most of these difficulties are not as big as we imagine. It's only because we view them with worry and fear that they become heavy. Today's story reminds us of a simple yet powerful truth that can change the way we live. The solution to most problems is very simple, and often right in front of us. If we calmly reflect, open our hearts, and think more lightly, we will realize that every challenge can be overcome. When we change our perspective, we also change our lives. The important thing is not whether a problem is big or small, but how we face it. Arav was a clever boy living in a small village, but he always paid too much attention to life's difficulties. For him, even the smallest things became big challenges. When it was too hot, he complained that no one could work in the scorching sun. When the teacher assigned homework, he claimed it was impossible. When his mother asked for help with chores, he thought everything was too difficult. Gradually, his habit of complaining made those around him tired and start avoiding him. One evening, his father decided to teach him an important lesson. He led Arav to a pond and handed him a handful of salt, telling him to throw it in the water and taste it. Arav found the water very bitter. Then his father led him to a wide river, added the same amount of salt, and asked him to taste it. This time, the water remained fresh and sweet. His father explained that life's problems are like that handful of salt. They always exist, but how much they affect us depends on our hearts and perspective. A small heart, like a pond, makes every problem bitter, but a large heart, like a river, allows us to handle challenges with ease. After his father's lesson, Arav began to reflect on how he viewed life. For the first time, he realized that the problem wasn't life itself, but how he faced it. That night, lying in bed, he whispered to himself, "If I stay like a pond, everything will continue to make me suffer. But if I become like a river, I can overcome anything." From the next morning, Arav decided to change little by little. When the teacher gave extra homework, he no longer complained, but saw it as an opportunity to learn and improve. When his mother asked him to carry water, he smiled, viewing it as a way to grow stronger. Even under the scorching sun, he no longer groaned but considered it a challenge he could overcome. At first, letting go of the habit of complaining was not easy. But each time he remembered his father's words, he pushed himself forward. Gradually, patience and a positive attitude helped him change, calmer, more optimistic, and appreciated by those around him. Arav learned that the strength to overcome problems lies within oneself, and when the heart grows, all difficulties become lighter. Over time, Arav's efforts began to show results. He was no longer the boy who complained at every difficulty. Though challenges like storms, exams, and chores still appeared, he was no longer overwhelmed. Instead, he learned to flow like a river, keeping calm and accepting everything gently. These changes not only affected Arav, but also altered how people saw him. Friends wanted to spend more time with him, teachers praised his positive attitude, and his parents felt proud. Most importantly, Arav felt light and peaceful inside. He realized that life's problems do not disappear, but how we face them determines our feelings. One afternoon, sitting by the river, watching leaves, twigs, and stones float by, Arav smiled and whispered to himself that every problem has a simple solution. It's not about removing the salt or difficulties, but becoming like the river, wide, calm, and able to handle any challenge. Life will always bring challenges, but when the heart grows, even the toughest obstacles become small. Arav learned a valuable lesson. Life does not change, we do, and as we grow, all problems become easier to bear. At sunset, sitting by the river, Arav watched the water flow gently, carrying leaves, branches, and stones without stopping. He smiled, realizing a simple yet profound truth. Every problem has a solution, but the solution is not in removing difficulties, it's in how we accept them. Arav understood that a small heart, like a pond, makes every challenge bitter, but a heart as wide as a river allows one to flow through difficulties calmly and lightly. He reminded himself that life will always bring challenges, hard days, long nights, but instead of complaining or running away, the best approach is to grow, open your heart, and face everything calmly. As we mature and learn to be compassionate, even the biggest challenges become small. Arav learned that the real strength to overcome life comes from within. Problems do not disappear, but a large enough heart can embrace them. He asked himself, "Am I a pond or a river?" With that answer, Arav realized that growth and perspective are the keys to making every challenge easier, turning life into something lighter and more meaningful each day. Through time, practice, and a shift in mindset, Arav realized that life will never lack challenges, but how we accept them determines our feelings. Difficulties still appeared, stressful exams, heavy chores, sudden storms, but Arav was no longer overwhelmed. Instead, he learned to flow with life like a river, calmly and gently, without letting problems disturb his mind. This change not only made Arav feel lighter, but also made those around him notice the difference. Friends wanted to be with him more, teachers praised his positive attitude and effort, and his parents felt proud. Most importantly, Arav realized that inner peace comes from opening the heart and changing perspective, not from eliminating difficulties. One sunset afternoon, watching the flowing water, Arav reminded himself that every problem has a simple solution. Not by removing the salt or challenges, but by becoming a river wide enough to embrace them all. Life will always bring challenges, but as we grow and open our hearts, problems shrink, and the true strength to overcome them lies within ourselves. This is a lesson Arav will remember forever, helping him face difficulties with calmness and optimism. Looking back at his journey, Arav realized an important lesson. Life will always present challenges, but how we face them determines the outcome. Hot days, difficult exams, heavy chores, all exist and cannot be avoided. Yet now, Arav was no longer burdened by them. He learned to remain calm, patient, and accept everything like a river flowing, carrying leaves, twigs, and stones without stopping or being disturbed. Arav's inner change also transformed how others saw him. Friends wanted to spend more time with him, feeling comfortable around a calm, positive person. Teachers praised his curiosity, effort, and composure in challenges. His parents felt proud seeing their son control his emotions, embrace difficulties, and grow from everyday experiences. These changes brought recognition from others, but more importantly, they brought inner peace and confidence. One afternoon, sitting by the river, Arav smiled. He realized every problem has a simple solution, but it's not about removing difficulties, it's about facing them and opening your heart. When we grow wide enough to embrace challenges, every problem becomes small and manageable. Arav whispered to himself, "Life will always have challenges, but the answer is not to escape or complain. The answer is to become like a river, calm, wide, and patient enough to overcome everything." This profound lesson reminds us that the power to overcome difficulties does not lie outside, but within the heart and maturity of each person. When the heart is big enough, all challenges become light, and every day becomes more fulfilling.